vlog and welcome back to St. B. Just came back from Brazil and it is truly a beautiful place. But that's not what this video is about. Today's vlog, I'm going to be talking about what happened the day that I got back from Brazil, because I got to spend an entire day at the Miami airport, which would usually be a complete nightmare. But this time it wasn't, because I decided to stay at the American Airlines airport lounge. And let me just make it very clear, they did not pay me to say this. This is not a video sponsored by them in any way whatsoever. I just decided to spend the day at the lounge and try it out, and this is my experience, and I figured I'd share it. If any other vegans out there are considering doing it, I'm going to be talking more about how it was, what I ate, what I did, and if it's worth it in my opinion or not. So let's do it. Hey there from the future, editing Natalia here. So one of the reasons why I shot that video by the water was because I wanted to show you how pretty St. Pete is. Problem with filming by the water is that there is wind. So there's going to be a couple of parts in this video where there is going to be wind blowing in the background, and I apologize for that, but you can still hear me. You can still understand everything that I'm saying. At the end though, future me is coming back, kind of wrap things up because things got really windy. But anyways, enjoy. Alright, so first things first, why I decided to even do this in the first place, why go to the lounge. See, my flight from Brazil arrived in Miami at 6 a.m. and then my flight to Tampa didn't leave until 3 p.m. So that left me for like 8 hours, 7 hours to spare in there, and I have spent enough time in the Miami airport to know that it sucks. It sucks for vegans. There's nothing to eat. All of the food is just terrible, and it's not the most comfortable one, and the Wi-Fi is not great. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not the biggest fan of that airport. I've spent enough time in there to be able to say this with conviction. After I watched Shelby Church's video on airport lounges, which I'll put the link in the description below if you want to watch that, I had never even considered staying at a lounge because I don't have a credit card for an airline, and I'm not a part of any like rewards club or anything like that for any of the lounges, so I never thought of staying in one. So when I watched that video, I found out that you could actually just pay to spend a day at an airport lounge, which I figured, you know what, I might as well. I mean, I was flying American Airlines and the lounge for that was $60. It's not prohibitive. And I knew the other option, which was not staying at the lounge, sucked big time. So I was like, you know what, let's try this out. I just went straight to the lounge at D15. When you first walk in, there's some sliding doors and you go into this lobby area where you check in. They check your boarding pass to make sure that you did fly American Airlines, and then you just pay for a day pass. So that was $59, and that gave me access to the lounge for 24 hours. So like I said, my flight arrived at 6 a.m. So I got there at breakfast time and I was starving because in the plane, you guys know, there's nothing vegan to eat in an airplane. I actually asked the person working at the lobby before I even purchased the day pass for the lounge whether they did have vegan options, and then she listed quite a few things. So I was like, okay, I'm sold, let's try this. An Avocado Toast Bar, which is pretty impressive. Now, some of the things that they have as topping options like lox and eggs and cheese obviously are not vegan. But then just the plain avocado toast, which is what I ended up having with some salt and pepper, is better than another option that I would have had for breakfast outside of the lounge. Then they have kind of a cafeteria style buffet where you can just choose other things you want to eat. So they had bagels, they had English muffins, and then as toppings for those, they did have jam and peanut butter, which were vegan, but of course the butter and the cream cheese were not vegan. Also had fruit salad, which was another vegan option, and then for drinks they had orange juice, which is what I went for, but they also had flavored water. It had limes and lemons and all of that inside. They had a soda machine and then some fresh fruit, which was always being replenished. Like there was always somebody coming in and replenishing all of those items in the buffet, which was really nice. And then of course I did need my latte. You guys know how much I love my lattes and how dependent I've gotten on those. Did to check out the coffee situation. So what I was expecting was just some boring black coffee, so I was ready to go to Starbucks at the nearby gate and get myself a latte. Thankfully, when I asked the person working there where the Starbucks was, she was like, well, you might want to check out our espresso machine first. I'm sorry. Did you say espresso machine? Yes, they had an espresso machine. It was kind of like a soda machine where you just like pick the kind of soda you have, but it like you could choose different espresso drinks. So you could choose like a latte or a macchiato or an Americano. It was really nice. However, it did not allow you to choose the type of milk you wanted in those drinks. So I could not just select latte and get a latte from it because it would have used whole milk. So instead I got just plain double espresso, and they did have the option of oat milk separately. It wasn't steamed, but it was oat milk, so I mixed that in. Now the milk was cold, so in addition to using it for the coffee, you could use it for the cereal too. And they did have all of these different syrups, which was nice, so you could add flavor to your coffee. That was a plus. So far I had breakfast in the cafeteria area, which even though it was a cafeteria basically, it was much quieter than it would have been at the gate. Also, it was much better to have an actual seating and table situation than having to kind of balance your food on your lap, which happens when you eat at the gate. And then you had kind of a nice view of the outside, even though you were still pretty far in. Now, for my coffee, I decided to try this like middle area in between the food and where the windows were. And that was nice. I mean, it had more comfortable seating. The only problem was that because it was the morning, there was a lot of people in phone meetings, and then some people checking in with their families to let them know that they landed. Not ideal. However, again, nicer than not at the lounge so far. And after I was fed and caffeinated, that's when I went around trying all of the seating areas. I just wanted to try them all, like Goldilocks style, because I was, well, part of it so I could report it to you guys, but also because I wanted to just like try them all and see which one I liked best. So I started out with those two, and then I moved on to this area where they had some seats, and then it's a glass wall where you could see the gates under there. Dolphin! Oh my god! Hold on, you guys need to see this. Oh my god! This never gets old. It's a pretty nice place that I chose to live, I have to say. Now, where were we with the airport lounge? Oh yeah, the chairs. So there was this one area kind of had a glass wall where you could see the gates below. So that was one area, and then right next to it they had this kind of workstation with the desk and a bunch of work chairs, and then that filled up pretty quickly once like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock started rolling around. A lot of people with their laptops just doing work over there. I hear a dolphin behind me. I'm just gonna stay right here just in case a dolphin pops up behind me again. That's way more exciting than just my face for you. So, and then right after that work zone, there was a quiet zone, which was my personal favorite. So in that place, you're not supposed to be talking on your phone. You're not supposed to be just talking, period. You're just supposed to be quiet, which is lovely. So they had some leather chairs that were, you know, pretty comfy. And then right after that, that was the place that I settled, which had the recliners. It was really nice to just stretch out over there, like especially after being on a plane for 12 hours. Like it was really nice to just like stretch out my legs, and then I just watched some Bridgerton, did some reading, and just hung out for a while. Like just relaxed, drank some water, and just took it easy. After a good while of just relaxing and just watching some Netflix, I decided to actually get some work done. So I moved on to the area with the leather chairs, and I just did some editing. They had some footrests in there. It was nice and quiet, and just hours passed by and I didn't even notice. All right, we're in the quiet area, so I have to be relatively quiet. But I just finished editing. It took me way longer than I thought it would because it's kind of a longer one, but it's a goodie. And it's about lunchtime already. It's crazy how much time flies when you're not stuck in a gate. So far, this idea of staying in the lounge has been chef's kiss. It's been so much more comfortable and just like delightful, honestly. So yeah, it's noon. I'm gonna wait for this to finish uploading, and then I'm gonna go check out the lunch options. What they had for lunch was at the buffet they had hummus and veggies, and they had a DIY pulled pork sandwich station, which was obviously no good for me. Then I noticed they also had a fridge in the cafeteria area where you could buy these quinoa and lentil wraps or this peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But you did have to pay extra for that, and I really didn't feel like doing it because they did also have this lentil soup that says vegetarian, but it was actually vegan. And then on the side they had croutons, which were also vegan, and crackers. I was more than happy to just make a meal, just assembling all of that. I mean, it may sound like it wasn't a lot, but it was pretty filling. I had up 2 bowls of the soup, and then with the crackers and all of that and the hummus, it was a pretty good meal. And then after I was done eating, I just moved to the other seating area, the one that was right by the window. And that's when I noticed they actually had another menu over here with the QR code. If you scan that, it took you to another menu where you could order food, and a lot of the options were vegetarian, not vegan. You could make it vegan though, just removing the egg or removing the dairy, but they weren't vegan on the menu. But again, you had to pay extra for those, and I was pretty satisfied with the stuff that was offered in the price of just paying for the lounge. Plus I had my own snacks, if you remember. From the first vlog from Brazil, I told you that I bought these cookies. They're coconut and Brazil nuts. They were absolutely delicious, and I just snacked on those while watching another episode of Virgin River. By the way, do you guys watch that show? I'm almost done with the 3rd season. I have feelings about it. Like I was more into it in the 1st season. Now I'm just kind of like, meh. Just need to ride this out to the end, but you know, whatever. I digress. And then soon enough, it was 2 p.m. and it was time for me to go to my gate. Went all the way to my gate, only to have my flight delayed for 3 hours. So then what I did is I grabbed my bag and I went straight back to the lounge. No problems getting back in. And then I grabbed some chips, laid in the recliner again. I have to say, you know, some people take the comfort a little bit too far. There was one dude that just like took off his shoes and was like straight up napping and snoring. Like, it's a bit much, dude. Like, you're still in a public setting. And then, you know, some people were like on Zoom calls that didn't have headphones on. It's like, well, we don't all need to be in your work call right now. But for the most part, like, everyone kind of just kept to themselves, and it was a pretty nice situation. And eventually the time for my flight did come around. Went to the gate, got on my flight to Tampa, got back home to this beauty. And that brings us back to the future. So I'm outside of my house right now because we are doing a bathroom remodel, and it's a nightmare with the noise inside. So we're just having audio issues with this vlog. So let's just to wrap it up, like, my final feelings on it, like, was staying at the lounge worth it? 100%. Like, I would totally do it again if I have to wait in an airport for more than 5 hours, I would say. I spent $59 to get in, and it made the experience a lot more comfortable for sure than just waiting at the gate. But in terms of food, were the vegan options amazing? I mean, it was not amazing, but is airport food ever amazing? I don't think so. And I feel like if you buy a bag of chips and a water at the airport, it's all of a sudden it's like $20. So did I spend more? Maybe, than I would have otherwise, because I had breakfast, lunch, and a snack. If I spent more than I would have spent just eating outside of the lounge, I don't think it was by much, to be honest. It was definitely better food than I would have gotten outside of the gate. I feel like most airports, and I know the Miami airport because I've spent a lot of time there, like, the options are very, very limited. I usually end up just having French fries of some sort. So yeah, I would definitely do it again. It'd be interesting to check out other lounges at other airports and see if they have different vegan options, if they have better vegan options. So in summary, it could definitely be better, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was definitely worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. We are back at home now, back in St. Pete. Have some very exciting things coming down the line. We're doing this remodel, which is gonna be a whole separate vlog down the road when it's done. But yeah, just make sure you're subscribed, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you next week.